Education can save your life. Now, the topic of this video is so fucking interesting, guys, because the topic of this video, I got it written down somewhere. Education can save your life. This is so fucking important, guys. How crucial and important education is, guys. Education can save your life, just as the video, as the title suggests. That is like taken at face value. That is fucking factually true. There's no other way to interpret that. Education can save your life, guys. A lot of us, we're suffering one of the biggest problems in your life. This is so important, guys, to understand that a lot of your problems in life, they're all, if you carefully think about it, all of your problems in your life, they all come from ignorance to some extent. If you think about this very carefully, guys, all of your problems, nearly all of your problems are byproducts of like ignorance. They all come back, they all like relate to this one action. Like all of these problems that you have in your life, all the problems, whatever problems you might be having, maybe perhaps you're suffering from like physical health issues or something like that, or you might have financial problems or troubles, etc. All of that stuff, all of these like issues, all of these problems, they're all follow back, they all trace back. There's like this, they're all like branches of a tree, and the root is like the actual like real root problem, guys, is like ignorance. That's why you're suffering in life, guys. Ignorance is the actual problem that you're suffering from. All these other problems that you might be having, the financial, physical, mental health, etc., stuff like that, all these other problems, they're like, it's kind of like a tree branch. They're all like derivatives of like the root. The root in this case would be like the actual true problem in your life would be ignorance, guys. And I know it sounds fucking a little bit kind of like, what the fuck is ignorance? What are you getting at, guys? What are you getting at, man? Not guys, I'm one guy. What are you getting at, you fucking retard? Why are you telling me that ignorance is like, all my issues and all my problems in my life, they're coming from ignorance? What are you getting at? I'm getting at what I'm saying is, guys, ignorance. If you carefully think about this, guys, carefully, just like a tree, there's like the branches, those are like all the superficial problems that you might be suffering from. These like, just like a tree, and like the tree has branches. You might be like, again, financial troubles, financial problems, or you might have physical health problems or mental health problems or physical, all these sorts of problems that you might have. All of these types of problems, it's like a tree. If you carefully study the tree and you follow and trace back to the roots, if you try and look at the roots, the actual root cause or problem in this case would be like ignorance in regards to like your troubles, because all of your problems in your life, I guarantee, guys, it's all coming from ignorance. If you were better educated, guys, you wouldn't be as like trouble, you wouldn't be suffering from any like, you would be so much better off in so many different types of ways, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit mumbly with my words, but you know, guys, all of your troubles and problems and issues, etc., I guarantee, guys, 10 out of 10, it all comes from ignorance, guys. Education can save your life. This is so important. This video is so important, guys, that the point of this video, guys, is education can save your life. You guys, you gotta like value education a lot more. We take education for granted now, especially in our modern world, modern society. We take education for granted, guys. We don't value it as much as we used to, because everyone, more or less, if you're living in like a very developed first world country, you're pretty well off. You're not going to. A lot of us, we pretty much are like living in first world countries to some extent, or maybe perhaps you might be from like some poor country, but I don't know. But a lot of us, we live in like very developed countries now and stuff, and so we don't really think too much about education. We don't really care too much about it, and we're so like we're kind of a little bit careless about like improving our state of like mind and knowledge and learning, etc. Maybe some of you might still be very much interested in that, but guys, the topic of this video is so fucking important, guys. Education can save your life, guys. Again, you might be suffering from some type of financial problems, financial issues, guys. Well, if you were like educated in terms of like economics, if you had like a very good like education regarding like economics, you would understand where all of your like financial problems are coming from, originating from, and you'll be able to quickly devise solutions to solve your financial problems. See, these types of financial problems that you might be suffering from, financial problems, troubles, worries, etc., whatever you want to call it, it's all like a byproduct of like you being ignorant about economics. Because if you were more enlightened about economics and the ins and outs of like money making and getting money in business and all that type of stuff, you wouldn't be suffering from any type of like economic financial problems. See, and not just in terms of like economics and finances, but like also regarding health. If you were like, because like if you're suffering from so many different types of like physical health problems, I do think so, obviously within reason, because I know sometimes it can be inherited. You might have like some type of like Asperger's issue that you inherited from your parents or something. It's certain like there are like certain like physical health conditions that are more or less inherited from like your parents and from your lineage and etc. But to some extent, like a lot, like if you got diabetes, maybe perhaps I do think that could have been like better treated if you were like more knowledgeable, more like aware of like all the like the up-to-date like research like that relates to like nutrition and diet and physical health and fitness. Maybe if you knew more about like what constitutes a proper diet, if you were more like aware of like what is like a healthy diet, you might have been better off in regards to like your health, because you would have been able to understand what is like a healthy food. You would have been buying better quality foods that are more like nutritious and stuff, and you would have probably not suffered so many different types of health problems as a result. Ignorance, guys, that's where all, like, just like a tree, there's all these branches, just like that's like analogous to your problems that you might be suffering from, guys. All the issues that you have in your life, it's like a tree, and the branches, all your problems are like the branches on a tree. If you want to look at the root cause of all these problems that you might have, the actual root cause of these problems that you might have, guys, is fucking ignorance. I'm telling you, guys. Education can save your life, guys. Education is like the cure to all of your problems, guys. If you put more time and energy into like studying and learning and becoming more educated and knowledgeable and etc., you're going to be so much better off, guys. I'm telling you, if you study, especially if you might have like financial troubles and worries and problems, guys. You might be suffering from some type of economic issues, etc. The reason that you have financial troubles and worries, if you carefully think about this, guys, it's because you're to some extent you're ignorant about economics, guys. You don't know the ins and outs of money making and business, etc. And so you're suffering from like these types of financial burdens and problems because you weren't properly taught about like economics, and so you're fucking ignorant, guys. All of your issues, guys, I'm telling you, within reasons, to some extent, certain things are going to be out of your control, but in the majority of cases, guys, a lot of your worries and problems and troubles, it all comes from ignorance, guys. If you were better educated, you'd be so much better off, guys. If you knew more about like all the things that relate to your life, like maybe that's kind of dumb, but if you knew more about like knowledge in general, if you're like more knowledgeable in general about a variety of different things, you'll be better off in so many different types of ways, guys. Education can save your life. There's nothing more valuable than like a good education, guys, even though it's so fucking cliche, but it's actually so true, guys. Obviously within reason, obviously you have to think about it realistically. Like obviously we're not all Einstein, we're not all going to be like high IQ individuals, but you know, like, but still education can benefit you massively. Even if you're like a fucking retard, even if you're very dumb and stupid, education can still benefit you, guys. Education can save your life, actually, very much so. It can save your life. All your troubles, worries, problems, it all comes out of ignorance, guys. A lot of us, we don't understand this. It's so fucking stupid. The more, if you actually became more like knowledgeable, learned, more, if you carefully studied more things about like the world and etc., and about like maybe especially like economics and like diet, health, nutrition, guys, I encourage you guys to study more about these certain, especially these specific things as well, economics and like diet, health, fitness, nutrition, those types of things are very, very much important, but you should be studying other things as well, guys. If you were more like educated, more learned, if you studied more things, you would have been, and you would have suffered less from ignorance, and you would have been so much better off, guys. All your worries, problems, troubles, all of that, it all comes out of ignorance, guys. Just like a tree, and there's like all these branches that are emerging from the tree, that if you look at the tree's roots, that's, in this case, if you look at your life, and it's like where all your actual problems are coming from, guys, it all comes out of ignorance, guys. All your worries and problems and troubles and issues, it's all a byproduct of ignorance, guys. Ignorance, that's why you're suffering from like your financial problems and troubles and worries. It's because you're ignorant. You don't understand the ins and outs of like economics and money making, on how to make a successful business. So you're going to be fucked up, guys. You're going to be fucking suffering from like financial problems and issues. Ignorance, that is where all your issues come from, guys. Ignorance is so, even though it's cliche because we take, especially if you're from like a first world country, a developed country, you're going to be taking education for granted. I know for sure, like, when I was like in school, I wasn't really like appreciative of all the wisdom and knowledge that I was being given by the teachers. Maybe perhaps, but school, like the way they teach you things in school is kind of a little bit fucked up. It's not ideal, it's not the best it could be, but I don't know. And there's certainly a lot of things that in Europe, especially regarding school, there's so many different types of things that we need to like fix up on. But you know, education, guys, can't save your life. It's so important. Just like a tree, you might be having like all these issues, financial problems, troubles, health, physical health problems, all that type of stuff, all these types of issues that you might be suffering from. All of these issues, actually, it's just like a tree. They're just branches. If you look at the root of these issues, the root cause of all of these problems, the actual real root cause of all these problems is like ignorance, guys. If you're more, what the fuck is going on with my camera? What the fuck is going on with my camera, man? It's so weird. The camera is getting all fucked up. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. The settings get all twisted up. What's going on with the camera? It's starting to glitch out. Oh, fucking hell. Hopefully the video footage isn't gonna be all fucked up. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? The video footage is getting all fucking weird. Anyway, guys, Just like a tree, branches, the actual reason that you're suffering so much in your life is because of ignorance. Education can save your life, guys. Become more learned, value education more in your life, and you'll be so much better off. And I think that's about it, guys.